What I'm going to show you all how to make tonight is beans and cornbread. And this is a southern dish. These are pinto beans. I actually bought these in an Indian store. I don't remember the name, what they call them here, but they don't call them pinto beans. But that's the kind of beans they are. Anyway, what I've got here, I'm cooking this in a crock pot because I'm just going to let it cook overnight. You can cook it several different ways. You can boil it first. Best way to do dried beans when you're cooking these is to soak your beans overnight and then try to cook them the next day. It'll take about 4 hours to cook them then. But I just put them all in here. I wash them first, put them in the crock pot. I've got about 1.5 inches of water on top of the beans. Now, I've cut up 1 onion in there, 2 cloves of garlic. It's chopped up in it. I've got a bay leaf in there, and I've got what's called espazote. Now that's a spice from south of the border, Mexico way, and if you you can find those in some specialty shops, or you can order it online. It's not necessary, but it basically gets rid of a lot of the gas that beans tend to give people. The espazote will get rid of it. Okay, so that's the basis. I mean, it's really simple. Now, I'm also going to put in some ham. This is, well, here in the UK it's called a bacon joint. In the States we call that a ham hock. Okay, and I just add one of those for the flavoring for the beans and the added meat. Now, beans is a meat substitute. So altogether, this meal is going to cost me about 3 pounds. Okay, that's about $4.50. If you're working on American money. Now I'm just going to let this go ahead and cook, and I'll make some cornbread to go along with it. Okay, beans have been cooking now in the crock pot for about 3 hours. You have to make sure you keep watching your water levels because they'll absorb a lot of water. So I've actually put more water back in this to cover it. And just make sure your beans are covered with water. And I'm going to let it continue cooking. Okay, I'm going to make the cornbread here to go with the beans. Now what I've got in this bowl here, I've sifted together a cup of all-purpose flour and a cup of cornmeal, yellow cornmeal there, about 1/4 cup of sugar, and a tablespoon of baking powder. If you use all-purpose flour, that's all you need for baking powder. If you use plain flour, you'll have to add another tablespoon of baking powder to it. Got about 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. Okay, and I've sifted it all together, mixed it up really well. In the other bowl, I have 2 eggs that I've beaten up. To that mixture, I've added a cup of buttermilk. You can use whipping cream if you like. It makes it a little bit sweeter. I've used buttermilk in here. 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. About 1/4 cup of honey. All mixed together there. I should also mention now, if you're going to use buttermilk, when you make your mixture here, you need to add about 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Okay, so that's baking soda as well as the baking powder. Okay, that cuts the acidity in the buttermilk that's in there. Now basically you just mix the wet into the dry. You mix it until it's just moistened. You don't want to whip it or beat it too much. And you pour your batter into a loaf pan like this. This one's about 10 inches square. And then you're going to put it into a hot oven, about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's about 200 degrees Celsius. And you put it in there for about 20-25 minutes. And when you put a toothpick in the center of it, and the toothpick comes out clean, you know it's done. It should be all golden brown on the top. You just take it out of the oven, let it cool off a little bit, slice it up, put lots of butter on it, enjoy it with the beans. I'll go ahead and mix this up and show you what it looks like after. Okay, This is what your batter should look like. That's about the right consistency there. And we'll just put it into the plate here and get ready to put it in the oven. Okay, I've just taken the cornbread out of the oven. This is what it looks like. And when it's cooled off a little bit, we'll cut it up. Alright, beans. The beans have been cooking now for about, probably about 6 hours. And the meat's basically falling off the ham. The ham bone that I put in there. Now when you do that, you're going to get a lot of fat from the ham hock. And you want to try to get that out of there so you don't end up with a lot of fat left in your beans. A little bit's okay for flavor. Now basically, I just tasted these. They're not quite spicy enough, so I'm actually putting in some Frank's Red Hot, which is the original seasoning. It's pepper sauce. You can use any kind of pepper sauce in it if you like, or none if you don't want any. Throw a little bit more regular black pepper or something like that. Just stir that up, and I'm going to let that cook for another hour. And that should be done with it. Okay, here's the finished product. There's the beans with ham and cornbread. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy.